they loved people. They loved all of their customers. They were unlicensed counselors. They helped take care of a lot of people. They did a lot of things for people, and everybody loved them.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Well, the Twins Crystal Bar, that's where the parties are. If you party on the prairie, like a lot of folks that I know do. With Bernie and Dorothy, they'll feed you full of rye. Better watch out or your best friend might just punch you in the eye. But it's all in fun, it's all in sport. We do it all the time. 'Cause when you're at the Crystal Bar, you let yourself unwind. Yeah!
They were farm girls. They were taking care of the farm when they were 10 years old. They took care of the farm.
Yeah, those guys, it'd be nothing to go outside and see them crawling on top of a wood pile getting wood. They both ran heat in both their homes with wood stoves, and they get that thing glowing red hot, and they just had tons of wood. And they'd work all the wood. I mean, they'd get cords and cords of wood and chop it and stack it.
Then I think when they were about 17, they started working in a restaurant downtown here and pretty much did waitressing until they retired at around age 75.
They would get up in the morning an hour or two ahead of the boys because there was sons involved in the family too. And they would milk the cows. Then they would deliver the milk to the people that had ordered it, who wanted milk that weekend. And then they would deliver the product itself. And then they would get ready to go to school and stuff. So that by the time they were in junior high, they were holding down full-time farm girl jobs, and never complained. They never ever, I don't think I've ever heard them complain about working. That's what people do. You work.
They had an incredibly strong work ethic. I mean, they grew up on that farm and worked hard. They grew up in the Depression, so nothing ever came easy. And they carried that with them through all of their life.
The twins stood out. You'd meet them on the road, and whoever was driving, you would just see a hairline. You see a hairline and a couple of eyes looking over the dashboard, and you knew who it was. And it seems to me that they always travel together.
And where one goes, the other goes. I mean, they would not hear of being separated.
They would be ready at the same time, know where they wanted to go. They could go into any restaurant on the Camas Prairie. They'd be color coordinated, they would be giggling, they'd be ready to have a good time.
They have a very particular routine, like no one. They both get up at the same time with the two caregivers, and they fight in, you get up of bed, you so lazy. No, right now, I want to sleep more.
They've just always been, what you see is what you get from them. And it's always a fair representation of who they are.
I remember the Twins Crystal Bar vaguely as being a small child.
Bernie's husband, Deward, had the Crystal Bar, and then he and Bernie met and married. And after he passed away, they moved the bar down to, it's now like a bargain store down here on Main Street, but it used to be a big machine shop, and they bought the machine shop, completely gutted it, remodeled it, and then that's when, to my knowledge, it became the Twins Crystal Bar.
Yeah, if you look at the bar in the pictures, you'll see also underneath the bar, it's all made out of those glass cubes. And I'm not sure if that had something to do with it. That was like the name came first or the bar came first.
It was romantic in a Zane Grey kind of Western romantic type deal. It was We all felt really protected by those little 4'9" twins.
They had live music almost every weekend on Friday and Saturday nights, and it was the hot spot for many, many people around the area.
We used to walk into the bar and you could just hear the growls, you know, but we were protected. I've actually seen her stop bar fights by rolling up a wet bar rag and snapping people in the ears. These big cottonwood rock crushers, and she's just, you know, whacking them on the ear, and God help anybody that would strike them out of anger because they'd never get out of the bar alive.
Every Friday and Saturday night they had music. There were 300 or 400 people there, and it was just crazy. It was the well-known place all across the prairie and in the Lewiston Valley, and everybody was there.
They were protected so deeply by the people there that you can go up to Cottonwood and people just love them. You know, they just absolutely adore them.
Amazingly, at one time this town had, I know we had 4 different bars, and there was a lot of activity going on.
Considering that Cottonwood's less than 1,000 people, you know, and there were at the time 4 bars in town and one that's like 5 or 6 miles down the road.
I don't know how that happened. How the bar burned down.
And that bar burning down, all kinds of theories kind of erupted. I never really had any idea. Some people said that the competition burned them down because they were doing too much business. But I would never say that I know that's true. I just heard a few rumors that way.
But yeah, I'm not sure exactly how it burned down. It was, growing up, we always knew it was something suspicious, we thought.
Mom and Bernie always suspected, but there has never been anything proven, and I don't think there will be. But Mom always used to say, silence is golden. And, you know, someday the truth will come out.
So, yeah, I don't have a lot of memories of that bar. I used to work at her other bar. That was just the twins. The second bar, I don't think they had the Crystal Bar tag on it, but they had it was just the twins bar.
They worked for a couple of the other bar owners in town. Bernie was working at the Royal Room, and Mom worked at the Stockmans. And then when the owner of the Stockmans decided to retire, they bought it from him, and so then that became the Twins Crystal Bar. So they changed locations, and that's where they stayed then until they retired.
No, all I know is that they were always here, and then all of a sudden they were missing, and I guess that's when they moved.
When they were coming back to town, they were crossing the main highway up here, just north of town, and got into a pretty serious car accident.
They got in a car wreck. They crossed across the highway, got T-boned. It's amazing they lived that one. Just got smacked right on the freeway, somebody doing like 50 or something like that.
And Mom really took a shot to the head, and from there on, I really noticed that she started to go downhill pretty quickly.
Debbie, Dorothy's daughter, brought him down, and they moved him with us because they just couldn't take care of themselves.
Well, they had been living here, and Bernie's daughter was in Boise, Jackie. And Jackie and I talked a lot, and it was getting a little bit questionable whether they were eating well and taking good care of themselves, and just different things going on in the home that I noticed. Mom fell a couple of times and broke her wrist and whatnot. So Jackie and I decided that she wanted to have them there with her because she couldn't get here very often, and she wanted to have that time with her mom again.
Right off the bat, there was problems. Right off the bat, they wanted to do everything for us. They wanted to do the cooking. They wanted to do the cleaning, you know, and just My view and my wife's view was, you girls have done this all of your life. Why don't you just kick back and we'll take care of you for a while. But that's not the twins. That's not the way they are. So they moved in with us.
They stayed there, and then it's probably been 2 years ago now that Mom got pretty sick when she was there with Jackie. And
Yeah, then Dorothy got to the point where she needed assisted care. So
my cousin Jackie and I always thought that the reason that Mom went downhill so quickly in the nursing home and even in the rehab facility is because she thought she was in a hospital and she's just supposed to lay there in the bed and not do anything. And when she got into the environment at Ashley, she just was more like being at home. And so she started doing much better there. And then after Jackie passed away in March of last year, she stayed with her son-in-law until July, I think it was, and then it just got to be too much for him. He was 70 years old. And so then they took Bernie there to Ashley, and they're together now, and Mom doesn't hardly hear at all anymore, but they still seem to communicate with each other.
Dorothy doesn't talk much with the staff, but she talks a lot with her sister. It's like a lot.
And even when they were both living at our home here in Boise, Dorothy would come out of the bedroom a little late, or Bernie would, and they'd be color coordinated, they'd be wearing the same blouse. It was spooky. It was scary sometimes. And you tell people that and they go, oh, they had to miss once in a while. Well, yeah, once in a while, but not very often.
They just are, they are what you see. They're truly loving, kind human beings. Cared for people a lot. And where one goes, the other goes. I mean, they would not hear of being separated.